It was another fine day on the island of, a board that a teenager made in his garage. Big Jim, an orange engine from the previous episode, thought he was so great, but he couldn't figure out how to stop when the bridge ahead of him collapsed. Therefore, he had fallen off and suffered from severe engine damage. Big Jim is talking to another blue engine. Not so good without your engine now, are you? Do you want to hear about the time when I boiled hummus? Oh my gosh, that's freaking gross. How do you know? You've never even tried it. Oh my god, you actually ate it? Get me away from him. Now! Meanwhile, on the other side of the island, a steam engine was being given a message that had been sent by the owner of the railway. Hi there, Pete. Oh, what brings you here, Stubby? Well, the owner of the railway has something for me to tell you. And what may that be? He says that this new line that your wheels are on right now can be all yours if you do one special task to prove yourself worthy. Oh boy, what is it? See that train way back here? That long train of freight cars? Yes, I sure do. If you could pull that all around the new line, then you shall be greatly rewarded with the railway and your own train to pull. Oh boy! I'm totally up to that challenge, dude. That's gonna be easy. Don't be so sure, Pete. Freight cars can be very, very heavy. Tell me something I don't know. This is gonna be easy. Pete went backwards and coupled up to his train. This is gonna be easy peasy with lemon squeezies. Well, that's a weird catchphrase. And before he knew it, Pete was off. This is easy, said Pete. But not for long. Speedy Pete began to struggle with some wheel slip as he hit a mountain. His cars were not very securely coupled. Pete struggled with more wheel slip. I know I can do it. I know I can. Yeah. 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 Pete struggled and struggled, but he just couldn't make it up the mountain. But he was still determined. He needed that train. He was determined. Suddenly and weirdly, Big Jim appeared, out of quite literally nowhere. What made you think you could do it? You were bought for $6 on eBay. You're the most worthless piece of garbage on this whole entire layout. That's kind of rude. Oh, well, at least I know what my brakes are, Big Jim. After brutally offending Big Jim, Speedy Pete felt great. He felt like he could run a mile. Sure enough, Speedy Pete was doing it. He was making it up the mountain, slowly but surely. Speedy Pete was finally doing it. He was making it up the hill. He was just barely up the hill when the couplings on the freight cars became looser and looser and looser until the cars went flying down the hill. Speedy Pete felt the sudden jerk of the cars not being there and made it up the hill with ease. No one knew this, but there was another little engine at the very bottom of the line who likes beans very, very, very much. He was just cruising on down the line. He didn't know what was about to hit him, quite literally. Beep! Record has splattered everywhere. Speedy Pete's train, Beanie Boy, and Beanie Boy's whole entire train have collided and made one huge, humongous, gigantic mess. All over the place, parts lied of random things. Beanie Boy can be seen inside there. Cargo, endless amounts of cargo, car trains, cars everywhere. Destruction. Everything has been exploded into this gigantic pile of stuff. Speedy Pete didn't know right now, but he was very, very soon to. The damage on Speedy Pete's soon-to-be line has even crashed over to the line next to it, damaged some coaches, and completely flipped over that poor little train who told him about his job. Everything was everywhere in a gigantic mess. It was terrible. Just then, Speedy Pete came speeding down the line. He hadn't noticed anything, quite literally at all. "What is this mess?" said Pete. "Oh boy, poor Bean Boy. His cars are everywhere. I wonder if he's in that mess. Wait a sec, are those my cars? Am I pulling anything? Oh boy, those are my cars. I'm never gonna get my line," said Speedy Pete, just staring at the wreckage that he had, well, not caused, but that he has been a part of. Mess everywhere. Completely shattered. Speedy Pete felt very, 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 very guilty. Pete went away crying. He knew that he had to tell the owner of the railway what had happened. Months had passed, and things were still visible from the wreck. All the engines have helped out a little bit. In fact, they have all helped out quite a lot. Speedy Pete was taking some coaches away and other cars away from the disaster scene. Beanie Boy had been rescued and had been helping out bring things out of the wreckage. Even old Big Jim came to help on out. Even he felt bad. He's stuck. Even the heartless, brainless, soulless Big Jim had come to help. He still felt bad. The wreck was still very much visible, but things have gotten a lot better since then. Beanie Boy had also been working on taking things out from the wreck. He has felt bad. The wreck has impacted the entire layout. All the engines feel sad, and they're all scratching their heads to figure out who to blame. To Big Jim, an obvious choice would be Pete, but Pete had been working so hard, and he had been just trying to do his thing, and the couples slipped. Some say it was Bean Boy's fault for getting in the way of things, but Bean Boy says, "Beans," because that's one of the only things he can say. No one knows who they're going to blame or what they're going to blame. But things have gotten better. Bean Boy came to Pete. "You know, Pete," said Bean Boy, "this isn't all your fault." Pete was surprised. "Wait, you could say things that don't involve beans?" "Well, I need to get a good old-fashioned beans out every now and then. It's just, I like saying beans. It's fun. They give me all my powers. I can't run without them. I don't run on normal fuel. I'm not a diesel engine. I like beans." "You're weird." "Well, what do I know? I'm just an engine who likes beans. It's okay, Pete. Don't worry." About a year has passed since the great incident. Speedy Pete has fallen into a dark hole of despair and depression. He knew that the dreaded scrap yard was his next visit. The scrapyard is where engines go to die. But one day, his friend came to him with some great news. "Hey, you know what, Pete?" said his friend. "What?" said Pete depressingly. "You still get your reward." Do my ears deceive me, or did you just say I get my reward? That's right. Speedy Pete ran. He had to do what he had to do. He found the best place to do so, and he did a little dance. While Speedy Pete does his little party dance, I think I'm just gonna get his train ready for him. We're good friends. He does his party dance. I do my work and scream, "Beans!" I don't know why Bean Boy calls my little happy dance a party dance, but whatever. We'll just be on our way then. Pete is a happy engine now. He loves his job oh so very much.